I'll Be Home for Christmas was written by Ken Gannon and Walter Kent in early 1942. This was during the time that the United States of America formally entered World War II. When it was first written, Gannon couldn't find anyone to record the song. Many music executives felt that with so many soldiers fighting in World War II, the line I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams, was simply too sad for the Christmas season. However, one very talented man disagreed. Bing Crosby had his friend Kim Gannon sing the song to him while the two were playing golf. Well, as history tells us, Crosby loved it, and he recorded it in 1943 and released it as a B-side to his monster hit that year, White Christmas. During World War II, thousands of kids, 17, 18, or 19 years old, were spending their first Christmas away from mom, dad, family, friends, and the only place they had ever known as home. Certainly they were lonely. They found themselves hiding fears beneath the brave faces they would only show to those around them. These soldiers and sailors were completely out of touch with the home, especially if you were on a Navy ship at sea on the other side of the world. And that, my friends, is where this story takes place. It takes place on the USS North Carolina battleship, and that year it was home to 2,339 servicemen. Many members of the crew were husbands, sons, and fathers who would be spending the holidays thousands of miles away from their wives, families, and children. And to dampen their spirits even more, they had just found out that on Christmas they would need to ship out to provide support for a carrier attack. But that year, Macy's department store in New York City and the incredible battleship's chaplain, Chaplain Everett Woodins, had an amazing surprise in Santa's bag for this crew. This wonderful chaplain had done more than just organize that year's Christmas entertainment. You see, months earlier, all the way back in August, the chaplain had collected $5 from the crew members who had young children and loved ones back home. His efforts helped him raise the grand total of $2,404.25. Once he had the money, he wrote a handwritten letter to Macy's department store. He enclosed the collected funds he had requested that Christmas presents be purchased for the children of the men on the USS North Carolina. The chaplain asked that there be a $3 limit for each gift. He wanted to make sure that there was enough money to cover tax and postage. He asked that Macy's please mail the gifts to the addresses he had included in the letter. There were 729 sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, and nephews and nieces of those men on the ship. Whether it was a football, a Raggedy Ann doll, a stuffed teddy bear, candy, or a new pair of shoes, each attached card was to simply say the gift was from a loved one and his shipmates on the USS North Carolina. The chaplain's letter continued to write, "We realize that we are asking a great deal, but you will be adding greatly to the happiness of our children and to our own Christmas joy out here in one of our war zones. We hope that a bit of that joy will reflect on you and your staff workers at Macy's." Well, it touched both Macy's employees and the owners of Macy's so much that those incredible people went way over the original request. Macy's department store ran with the spirit of Christmas that year and decided to do something that encompasses everything magical about the season. Macy's went much further than selecting gifts, wrapping paper bows, and shipping the items out. They realized they had the addresses of all the recipients in their hands. So Macy's invited all the children and mothers who were able to come to New York City. Macy's department store then filmed everyone opening the gifts that the servicemen had purchased for them. They captured the moments of excitement, surprise, and gratitude you only witness on a Christmas morning. Macy's department store caught images of wives, mothers, and fathers expressing how much they missed their servicemen and sailors. Macy's made sure the prayers of safe returns were included in the film. Macy's delivered loved ones singing Christmas carols, and in some cases, they were able to show some dads the first images of their children that were born while they were away. These servicemen saw and heard voices and sweet laughter of youngsters, the loving smiles, and the longing eyes of a spouse. It was in a darkened hold of a ship the length of 2.5 football fields on that holy Christmas Eve. that Macy's department store delivered something that can't be placed in a virtual shopping cart online. Macy's presented a moment in time that will forever be remembered and forever cherished. Those servicemen had a longing too deep to describe, a homesickness too great to express, a surprise too joyous to ever forget, an experience that a large virtual store can't reproduce or ever sell. Thank you, Macy's, for producing hope in one's soul. This present will forever be priceless. This year, we all understand the feeling of loneliness. So many of us miss our loved ones that we can't physically hold and hug. This year, we have all learned how precious relationships are to us. We have all reevaluated the real treasures in our lives, and we now have a newfound appreciation for our cherished loved ones. This holiday season and beyond, please spread the magic of Christmas to everyone you know. Please also remember to support locally owned businesses and businesses like Macy's department stores. Let's encourage more enterprises to follow in the footsteps of this story. Thank you for watching our video. Merry Christmas, y'all, and Feliz Navidad to everyone from Carrollton City Limits in Texas.